Welcome back everyone, I'm Val and today we are in a new chapter of reacting to some travel horror stories people post on the internet. So let's get right to it.
If you plan on traveling ever again and you don't want to end up looking like this, or this, or this, or this,
Wow.
please listen to my tale. Last week, I flew into Colorado for a friend's bachelorette event, and we checked into a very nice, very clean Airbnb. The first thing I do is check for bed bugs. I lift up the fitted sheet, I check every corner, and there's nothing. So I sleep in the bed, and the next morning when I wake up with like 1 or 2 bug bites on my arms, I assume they're mosquitoes from sitting out on the patio the day before.
That's actually a very good practice, checking the bed for bed bugs, because they are tiny, but they can be a nightmare.
I want to say 2 or 3 more bug bites appear throughout the day, and this is where my knowledge truly failed me. I thought that if you got bit by a bed bug, you would wake up with the bite. So the bites I was getting throughout the day, I assumed had to be mosquito bites. But apparently, according to the CDC, a bed bug can bite you and the bite will not show for up to 14 days. So the bites I thought I was getting during the day were actually the bites from the night before, like activating. But I didn't know that. So that night, I got in the bed again, I slept again, and the next morning we checked out.
No.
And that's when things really started taking a turn for the worse, because every 5 minutes a bite that I did not previously have was appearing on my body, and they were in clusters, they were in lines. It was a mess. My friend is like, we need to go back to the Airbnb and check for bed bugs again because something is not right. So
Yeah, of course, the late reaction. It actually makes sense.
Not to my knowledge, no.
my friend and the other 3 girls on the trip go back into the Airbnb, and I can kind of hear them through the door, and I just hear like, no, yeah, this side's clear. Yeah, I'm not getting anything on this side either. And then I hear, oh my God, Jesus Christ, oh my God, holy shit, what the My friend comes out looking white as a sheet. We found them. Every other bed had a wooden headboard, and yours was cloth. And you know those like little like indented fabric buttons? They were like wedged in and under those buttons. They were really hard to see if you weren't looking for them. Put all of our belongings in garbage bags, and when we got back to Emma's house, I had to go into her garage and literally strip butt naked and then tiptoe my way into her guest bathroom. I took 5 scalding hot showers. We threw everything we could at highest heat into the washer, and then the dryer, and then the washer again, all at highest heat. And I flew home the next day, and thank God nobody got any bed bugs in their home. Like 5 or 6 days after I got the initial bites, I woke up and my bites were suddenly the size of like golf balls. I was breathing like this. And I had a killer headache, and my body was painfully itchy. Like it entered a whole new realm of sensation that needs its own word. It was that itchy.
And that, guys, is an allergic reaction.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
And it can actually be one of the problems of getting bite by a bed bug. Like, they can be harmless or they can cause this. So yeah, checking for bed bugs is a really good practice.
I took a Benadryl and the breathing problem went away. All I could do for like 2 days was pop Benadryl after Benadryl and just sleep through the pain. Only thing that actually helped with the itching was taking really, really hot cloths and putting them over the bites, and then using ice packs for the swelling. I don't know how long it will take for these welts to go away, but at least they don't itch so bad. Good news is that nobody else got bit, and Airbnb is completely refunding us. So my friend is sending everybody their money back, and it's kind of like I won everybody a free Airbnb trip, and all it cost was a little bit of anaphylaxis.
Yeah, I don't think the cost was worth it. Thank you very much. That was a nasty one. Thankfully, she went through the entire trip without it causing the allergic reaction right away, because this can actually ruin an entire trip.
Priorities.
And if you're traveling full-time and you don't have insurance, it's going to cost you a visit to the doctor. On to the next story.
This is the most disgusting travel story of all time. So in these Vietnamese sleeper buses, they often don't have a bathroom, but you're going for like 13 hours, 10 hours, plus 20 hours. So what happens is they just stop randomly in the middle of the road.
So if you've been to Vietnam, the easiest and sometimes cheapest way to move from one place to another is through these sleeper buses that they are set up like sitting beds or something like that. So the beds or seats are actually on the ground, and you can lay down with your legs extended and sleep through the entire night. She's right, many of them don't have bathrooms, but they do a stop like Thai buses at some stations to use the toilet and buy food. So let's move on.
Road, and you're just supposed to go do your thing. So she wakes up in the middle of the night, realizes that they're on a bathroom break because it's pitch dark, but the headlamps are still on. So she just like looks in front of the window. And what does she see? She sees the bus driver in front of the bus, pants down in such clarity, with poop coming out of his hole.
Oh
I
my
mean, I don't know
god,
how
so
you can top that story.
disgusting! Oh my god, that's disgusting. I don't think this happens like that anymore.
Thank God.
Now, every time they stop for toilet breaks, is an actual restaurant or a station in the middle of the road that has a toilet. So, yeah, you won't get traumatized by seeing the driver do its thing in front of the bus. So, on to the next story. Okay, it says the story about being harassed on my 6-hour flight. I feel like this one is going to be a tough one. She's a female, as you can see, and we'll know females traveling, we have issues. Let's see.
Okay, so I am going to be sharing my story on how I was harassed on my 6-hour flight and had to have airport security walk me to my car. I'm honestly still pretty hesitant about sharing this just because I have this underlying fear that he's somehow going to see this video and retaliate in some sort of way, but I do think it's important. So I flew 6 hours from Denver to
And those are the consequences, guys. The sense of insecurity. Even when you're out of the situation, you still feel unsafe. So, yeah.
Anchorage, Alaska. When I got on the plane, there was a guy sitting in the window seat and I was sitting in the aisle. There was nobody in the middle. And then right before they closed the doors, a guy ran on last minute and he was in our middle seat. All three of us were kind of around the same age, so we immediately started chatting. The guy in the middle seat was very charismatic, very friendly, which are usually the type of people that I like. So we were all just kind of chatting. This wasn't a red flag, but kind of a weird thing was he pulled out his phone and was getting me and the guy in the window seat to play some game that he had downloaded on his phone. I think it's pretty normal to small talk with the people around you, but then once, airport etiquette kicks in and the flight takes off, you just let people do their thing.
Yeah, everybody minds their
Once the plane took
business.
off, I very politely just said, have a good flight, put my headphones in, and started watching a movie. He got up from his seat, I would say every 15 to 20 minutes to go to the bathroom, which was fine. That's kind of what you sign up for when you sit in an aisle seat.
I'm gonna be honest, the aisle seat in the plane is my favorite because I hate to bother people. So doing this to a person, like having to ask for permission every 20 minutes, I hate it. I hate it. Like, it is what she says, it is what you sign up for if you are in the aisle seat. But to be honest, when I sit in the window seat or in the middle seat, I don't like it. Like, I rather wait.
Objection! Unhealthy!
Or like if I'm going to have a bathroom break, it's going to be the bathroom break. So I'm going to wait until really I can't hold it anymore and then bother the person in the aisle seat because I hate it. So yeah, my favorite seat is the aisle seat because I don't have to bother anybody.
But I also think part of the reason was just because he wanted me to have to take my earbuds out so he could interact with me. I actually had even texted my boyfriend before the plane took off and I said, I think the guy next to me is on drugs. We were flying out of Colorado. That's none of my business. However, you decide to fly within reason if you're not bothering the people around you. So he gets up from his seat, he goes back to where the flight attendants are sitting, and he comes back with red wine and 2 cups. I let him back in his seat. He asked me if I wanted to share the wine with him. I told him no. I tried to very politely decline. And that's when the movie thing happened. I was watching a Harry Potter movie. He tapped me on the shoulder. I took my earbuds out. He asked me what movie I was watching. I told him. He put the same movie on. And then he took his phone and took a photo of our screens together.
That's not creepy at all. Come on, really? I'm not gonna lie, many of you might see this and think that's not exactly a red flag, and you're right, but it's weird. Like, it's weird. That behavior in a plane is weird.
Stop it. Get some help.
That was the point where I was thinking about telling a flight attendant, but I also didn't know if I was just mistaking this for he was being friendly. I was definitely feeling uncomfortable, but I also didn't want to report him if he was just trying to be nice. Basically being a girl 101. He was very much in my
Yeah, like you think maybe I'm making too much of it, even though I feel uncomfortable, maybe he's just trying to be nice and he's just very awkward about it, But I'm gonna be honest with you before she finishes this story. If you're feeling uncomfortable, go with your gut. Maybe he's just trying to be nice, but he's making you uncomfortable, so that should be enough of a red flag.
personal space the entire flight. I really had sore ribs from how far I was leaned over into the armrest. He was watching my screen the majority of the time. If I got on my phone, he was looking at my phone. If I was, reading a book. He was looking at my book. I pretty much tried to avoid reading my book. I only did stuff that involved headphones so he wouldn't talk to me. So I basically just watched movies the whole time. Every time the beverage cart came back through, he got another wine. Ugh. He was also getting these wines for free as far as I know. Don't really know how, but I think he may have just charmed the flight attendants. As he gets progressively drunker, he's getting more and more bold.
There is also a part 2, so we're gonna watch it. So okay, before we watch it, at that point, it actually gets really weird. So like I said, if you're feeling uncomfortable, just go with your gut. This is for all my females. So don't overthink it, and if you feel uncomfortable, then just try to get out of there. She can't. She's on a plane. So far, she hasn't exposed that she's done anything. So let's continue the story.
He starts saying stuff to me in my ears, but instead of taking my headphones out, I really just started to kind of just straight ignore him and just look forward and pretend I didn't realize he was talking to me. Good. He started to get a little bit rowdy. He would kind of scream outbursts randomly on this flight. I don't know to who, but... So at this point, he started to make me pretty uncomfortable. An important thing to note is my boyfriend and I were flying into the same airport, but we were on different flights for a bunch of different reasons. But he was landing 20 minutes before I was at the same airport. So I sent him a text. I said, hey, you'll get this when you land. The guy sitting next to me is making me a little uncomfortable. Can you meet me at my gate when you land? And I told him what gate I was going to be landing at. So I felt pretty safe knowing that I would get off the plane and my boyfriend was going to be waiting for me at my gate.
Good.
But things kind of escalated a little bit as he got drunker. Like I said, I watched a ton of movies on this flight because I didn't want to take my headphones out and watch a lot of rom-coms. If there was any scene that was like a kissing scene, an intimate scene, any kind of romantic scene, he was all up in my personal space. He was eyes locked on my screen.
Oh my God.
He wanted me to know that we were watching this type of scene together. I was watching a movie where a scene came on and he leaned over, taps me on the shoulder, kind of leaned his head on me and he said, that could be you and me.
Oh my God. No.
It's not creepy.
And that's when I really should have gotten pretty firm with him and said, stop talking to me, leave me alone. But in my head, I still was trying to be sort of nice. So I was kind of like, oh, like, no.
It's a panic reaction. Before anyone comments on this video and said, yeah, you should be firmer for a while now, it's a panic reaction. When you are in that situation, you don't know how to react. Believe me. So she's on a plane, which is a closed space with nowhere to escape, and a man that probably is stronger and bigger than her. So he can outpower her. So I would understand the situation of trying to get out of it in the polite way. So you don't get this intoxicated, crazy man, angry, and he could physically hurt you. So yeah.
I didn't mean to give you the wrong idea. Like, no. He got so angry that I did not reciprocate that thought.
Well, of course.
And started looking around to all the people around us who, mind you, like, it's really late. These people are sleeping. He's kind of starting to make a little bit of a scene going like, what the F? Like, what the F? Blah, blah, blah. He just kind of really trying to get the guy's attention in our window seat to, like, kind of rally him to his side. Like, oh, this chick, like, whatever. Yeah.
It does have a part 3, so let's keep watching.
Then I see him grab, like, a book or a magazine or something that's in the seat front pocket. He takes it, kind of covers his face, leans over and spits right on the ground. And this is where I was really debating telling a flight attendant, but we really only had about 30 minutes more of our flight. And like I said, I felt comfortable knowing that my boyfriend was going to be waiting at the gate if he were to follow me off the plane. So our plane lands and my phone comes back on and I get a text from my boyfriend that says, hey, tell me more about what's going on. My plane had to emergency land. I'm not going to be at the gate when you get off the plane. We were visiting my boyfriend's grandparents. I didn't know where they lived. I didn't really know how to get there. Basically, all of my worst fears kind of came to a head in that moment. So I started having a mini panic attack on the plane. Thankfully, the guy sitting across the aisle from me kind of noticed that something was up. And he kind of looked at me like, are you okay? So I looked at him and I was like, no. And I looked at him and I literally just went.
So as you can see, it's not all men. It's always a man, but it's not all men. We also have a hero in this story.
And so he immediately stood up. He kind of figured out what was going on. He stood up, and as the plane was deboarding, he stepped in between me and middle row guy. After that point, I didn't look back. I just knew I needed to get off this plane and into a safe place, which for me was the women's bathroom. Got off the plane, basically ran off the plane, kind of paced around in there for a little bit. I called my boyfriend, found out that his brother was going to be picking me up from the airport. So then I texted his brother, kind of told him the situation that was going on. Let him know, like, hey, just keep your eye out if anybody follows me to the car. He, told me go tell somebody. So I did. I kind of peeked out of the bathroom to make sure that he was no longer there. Thankfully, I don't think he was waiting for me. I didn't see him, but I went straight to the gate attendants, and as soon as I started to speak, my voice broke and I immediately started to cry.
As I said, a shock reaction. So after the adrenaline is kind of down and you actually start talking about it, this is what happens.
They were very concerned. It was two women. I just said, hey, I just had a really uncomfortable experience on the plane. I'm a little bit nervous to walk to baggage claim. I don't really know where he is in the airport. They basically were just like, say no more. What seat were you in? Do you have somebody picking you up? Do you need medical attention? All of those types of questions. They had airport security come walk me all the way to baggage claim. I didn't even have to stand at baggage claim. They actually put me in one of those separate baggage claim rooms. They got my bag off the carousel for
Amazing.
me. As soon as we kind of realized that he wasn't there, they walked me out to the car. I was shaking all night. I couldn't sleep. I've never really had anything like this happen to me on a flight. Sadly, I've had things happen to me like this other places. Anytime something like that happens, it's obviously very uncomfortable, very scary.
I love how effective the airport security was. Like, that's amazing. And mind you, if you need any help and you're actually ready to ask for help, because again, when you are in the middle of the situation, you just don't know how to react. This is the response you expect. Like, when you actually ask for help, this is the response you expect. And kudos to the airport security for taking care of the situation this way.
I'm shaking right now talking about it. It was a very uncomfortable experience. I hope nobody ever has to deal with it. The way that these gate attendants reacted, one was amazing and so quick and so swift, but it also tells me that this is not the first time that this has happened, and they're very used to doing something like this, which is just awful.
Yeah,
no one should be harassed on an
is.
airplane. Nobody should be harassed anywhere.
True.
If I could go back, I would have told a flight attendant so much sooner. I think a big reason that I didn't was because I have these people-pleasing tendencies, and I almost didn't want to hurt his feelings by reporting him. Don't do that. If you feel uncomfortable, just report him. Really hoping that he will never see
go
this
with
video,
your gut.
but like I said, I'm putting it out because I want people to be aware. You can ask for help in these situations. They will move you. I wish I had done it. Be safe out there. Love y'all. Thank you for the kind comments and reassuring me that, I wasn't crazy and this was actually something that shouldn't happen to people. So, thank you.
She's so sweet and love her hair. But yeah, guys, exactly what she said. If you are a woman or a man, doesn't matter. I know it mostly happened to women, but if you're a man out there and this happens to you as well, do ask for help. Do tell the flight attendant, because like she said, it was a 6 hours flight. So you're in a cabin where you cannot escape for 6 hours. No. And it could have gotten worse because he was intoxicated. And when you are under the effects of anything, things get worse. So do ask for help. Again, I know that in the middle of the situation it's not easy to react, but like she did after she calmed down, after she came more conscious of it, she asked for help. So do it just the same.
Could you dumb it down a shade?
So let's see one more. This one is on a lighter note, so let's get to it.
Hi, I literally just went through TSA and I'm missing my laptop from my bag. Yes, your laptop is right here. It didn't pass the inspection. What do you mean it didn't pass the inspection? What's wrong with it? It just didn't pass the security checks that we usually do. Okay, well that's weird because when I traveled here, I had absolutely no problems and now I'm going back home. So how am I going to be able to bring my laptop with me? Well, unfortunately, it did fail the test, so it can't even be checked in a bag. That doesn't make sense. What are you going to do? Send it to me in the mail? Are you going to pay for the postage? I have no obligation to do that, ma'am, so we're just going to keep it here. Oh my God, you're stealing my laptop. No, I'm not stealing your laptop. If someone from this city would like to come and pick it up and take it away from this airport, they can. Okay, well then let me call one of my friends in this city and they can come pick it up. No, so actually, because it failed the test, your friend can't pick it up because it has been deemed unsafe and dangerous. No one is allowed to hold it. Except
What?
you, because clearly your hands are all over it. I don't like your sass. And I don't like thieves. Give me the laptop back. Like I said, ma'am, the test came back. What tests? What did you do? The tests to make sure that Hey, is there a problem over here? No, I was just giving this nice lady her laptop back.
What?
Oh, this'll be fun.
So there is a part 2 for this one. I think the sketch is based on a story. I don't know if it happened to the content creator or someone else. So yeah, that's why it looks like that. Moving on.
I'm assuming you're the person in charge of the TSA line here? Yep, I'm the one. Well, great, because everything is not fine. Your worker here just tried to steal my laptop. I did no such thing. I was just doing my job. Yeah, she said there was something wrong with my computer. Can you check? Sure, let me check. Yeah, it's fine.
Supervisor.
Really, that was also a very quick test. Yeah, she said she had a test that she had to do, and the computer came back very dangerous, that no one could come and pick it up, and she had to confiscate it.
What is it? A radiator? A virus in a box? Like, why would you word it like that? As if it's a bomb or something you couldn't touch.
She's just making things up. What you don't know about the context here is she's actually my ex's new girlfriend. Yeah, so she's just making up lies to get me in trouble.
So it is what it is. They knew each other. This is weird.
You don't say.
Well, that just came out of left field. No, I don't know this lady. All I know is that she was trying to steal my stuff and she needs to be dealt with. Monica? Lies! I tell you, lies! Are you kidding me? This is so... Wait a minute. Did your hair used to be blue? Yeah. How would you know that? Oh my god. You
crazy
are
ex.
Alex's ex. In the flesh. And that's why you were trying to steal my laptop? Well, Monica, you're fired. Good! It's not like I need this place anyways. Actually, I kind of do, so if we could just retract that statement. Pack your stuff and go. First you cost me my man, and now you cost me my job? What? I'm sorry, my head is spinning right now.
As I said, guys, it's a sketch. Instead of a story, it's actually a sketch based on a story. I don't know if it happened to the content creator or someone else. So yeah, basically the TSA agent was the ex-girlfriend of her current boyfriend. So that's a weird one. And how small can the world be? But that was our last one. As usual, let me know in the comments if you have any weird or horror travel stories you would like to share, or what do you think of the ones we saw today. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like it, and to subscribe and turn on notifications so YouTube keeps helping us grow and we can make this community bigger and bigger. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all on the next reaction.